What's going on, everybody? It's me, Stock Picks by Tim, and in today's video here, it's going to be a brief one. I'm just going to go over Workhorse and some recent news here. Also, what's been going on the chart. If you appreciate these videos, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and let's get into it. Now, first off, I will give you guys this article down below, but this is our most recent business update. I covered this before, so I'm not going to try to be repetitive here, but I just want to remind you guys that they're discontinuing the C1000s just because of the myriad of issues they had with that. So they are scrapping that product, and in my eyes, that's the only negative about this update. One positive is that they received a notice from the SEC that the investigation of Workhorse has been concluded. So we're all good there. And also the W4CCs that were previously delayed are now being shipped to Workhorse, and the company is working expeditiously to deliver the vehicles to customers. And then I just wanted to go over something really quick that Rick Dock, the CEO, said, and it's right towards the middle here, starting here. The conversations we've had with customers over the last several weeks, mind you, this is in late December when this happened, this update, has reinforced that demand for our vehicles is strong. We remain confident in our ability to win in the EV market and create value for our customers, our communities, and our shareholders. And as a side note, you know, Rick Dock is actually known for turning companies around. I personally think he's a stand-up guy, and like he said, one of the first times we heard from him is he's about substance, not sizzle. And so far with Workhorse, you know, we haven't gotten a whole ton of updates. It seems like they've just been busy doing their thing. Every time we do get an update, we do get some progress in the right direction, however. I guess besides the C1000s being scrapped, you know, but that was definitely a negative because they seemed to waste some of their energy on the C1000s, which was the previous Workhorse, you know, under other management. Now, the last thing I wanted to mention on this article, I will leave it down below for you, but they reaffirmed their guidance range for 2022, which includes manufacturing delivering approximately 25 to 100 vehicles, generating between 5 to 15 million in revenue. That's, you know, not all that amazing. The best part is that they're actually getting vehicles out there. That's what we want to see. We want to see the growth in number of vehicles being delivered. The company also continues to expect to generate significant revenue growth in 2023 as it ramps up its production of its products. Now, I wanted to touch on the chart real quick and then we'll get back to it, but I did want to tell you guys that this update came out right around here, the December 28th, and since then it's just been popping, as have most stocks, you know, on the new year. So that's partly possibly why Workhorse ran up so much lately, has been kind of in an uptrend. It could also just be this update, you know, the fact that the SEC concluded their investigation. And while there's a negative about the C1000s that they're discontinuing them, well, the positive is that they get to move in on their other vehicles that seem like a better plan, in my honest opinion. It seems like the C1000s had their issues from the start, suspension issues, different things like that. And hopefully them scrapping it now, finally scrapping it, was the better decision instead of just continuing to try to tweak that vehicle to make it work. And as we know, Workhorse has a partnership with Green Power. That Green Power is supplying chassis to Workhorse. So those are supposed to already be all, you know, good to go. We're not going to have suspension issues with those, at least in my opinion. Now, the main thing I wanted to focus on in this video here, or at least the big thing here, is that Blackrock's been increasing their position in Workhorse. And this is as of January 31, so just the other day, but they did disclose in a 13G/A form with the SEC that they have ownership of 11.5 million shares of Workhorse, which is 7% of the company. They own quite a big chunk of Workhorse. Well, one thing is that Blackrock is a huge fund manager. This is a company that supplies shares to the little guy, the big guy, everybody. So it's possible that they see a lot of value in Workhorse. It's also possible that they speculate that retail is going to start going in on this and they want to be able to sell shares to us. Either way, as a holder of Workhorse, you can see that as a positive thing. My last video talking about BNGO, we saw something similar. You know, we saw Blackrock buying up Bingo. So does BlackRock know something's about to go on? Is it gonna go like it always goes, where small caps see the run up first and then we get followed by the larger caps? I personally think that's what BlackRock is betting on. And while fund sentiment seems to have been going down because there was a decrease of 12 owners or 3% of total funds or institutions reporting positions, one thing to notice is that the total shares owned by institutions increased in the last 3 months by 2.5%. or about 56,000 shares. But it does seem like the bigger boys are placing their bets that retail is either going to get in on this or they just want to have some shares that they can potentially sell back to the market. And what about price forecast? Well, we have a 121.74 upside, potentially according to the analyst. Now, as of January 31, the average one-year price target for Workhorse is 459. The forecast ranges from a low of 2 to a high of 840. The average price target represents an increase of 121.74%. from its latest reported closing price of 207. Now, hopefully we get an update soon from the insiders of Workhorse, because all we have to go off of here is going to be March 7, which is their next earnings coming up. Now, one thing that's a bit concerning for Workhorse is we have created new lows since our May 11 low. And this last low, like I said, it was on the 28th actually was their last low, right as that update came out. You know, the end of the month, of course, all that stuff is contributing to this pushing up. You know, they did give us that last update that I mentioned. It does seem favorable in my eyes to Workhorse. Of course, with the SEC concluding the investigation, that is a big headwind that they don't have to worry about now. But just because we've been moving up doesn't mean this is our definitive direction now. I want to see a flip of the 200 to 50. That would be great to keep that momentum going. And I also want to see us breaking these previous resistances. Our next one here is right around 250. And then, of course, the notorious even $3. I think a break of both of those can start giving us more momentum and maybe create this bull market for Workhorse. It also obviously depends on where small caps go. It depends on how our earnings comes out for Workhorse. We need to start seeing those damn vehicles being sold. But how are you guys feeling about Workhorse? Do you think the new management team will turn this company around? It already seems like they're making a lot of progress. They've been expanding Workhorse's facilities. And by the way, if you want to listen to their last earnings call, there's definitely a lot of tidbits of some great information, even regarding their drones, stuff like that. I will leave it down below for you. It's a cleaned up, edited version. But thanks as always, guys, for watching, and have a good rest of your day.